Hello everybody, welcome to another day of Cosmoteer. Today we're going to showcase and go through how to actually build out and do ship roles in ship categories. So one of the biggest things that you have to learn is, even if you are going to use other people's ships or other type of things, is you have to have these dependencies for these roles. Now if we come over here and we edit this role and we look at the role, we can see my ship loader is specifically only meant to go in and load missiles in. And I categorize them in so this way. And then you can have operators and other things where that you have guys specifically for missile O. In this case, missile O is for missile operators. These ones right here are specifically just for operating. Now once you actually set these up, and so now they're dependent, however you're going to set them up to pull in and pull resources, because I have the same thing right here where you have the ship dependencies up here, where I have my laser guys up here. They're all the way up here, and they're the ones that are controlling the lasers or other type of things. And then you have your power distributors that you literally have next to your power plant to run out, or point defense guys is specifically to meant to grab to resupply point defenses, or however you want to organize it. That's going to be up to you. And you can even lock them into specific places, but I found that if you lock them in, they don't operate so well. Now what I want to showcase here, so that you can see that now that you have these set up and you have them put in different ways, is if you come over here and you have one ship that has it fully set up, and one ship right here, my older ship design, which if we look at this older ship design right here, this older ship design has none, just has all the default. It's just all default. And what happens is when you watch them here and they run in, this is the default one compared to the non-default one, they'll go and they'll launch and and then all of a sudden they either don't have power or they won't have users in. They see how the people walk away, they're no longer in there, and then the missiles are loading up, but they're not shooting right away. Or if you come over here and you look at this one, there's always people in it, and as soon as the missile's in there, they're launching out and shooting out. Now I can see right here some of them don't have the people in there staying in there all the time, which I may have to change a little bit. But they are basically launching. Why is that not working the way that it should? That's interesting. Why are my operators? Did I change it on accident? Missile operators. Let's take a look at this. Missile operators should literally be operate missile launchers, and they shouldn't have anything else. They shouldn't have any other priorities. They shouldn't be walking away from their stations. Let's fix it. Yeah, they have no other role except for operating. Let's save that ship design. Let's showcase it a little bit differently. Let's come over here. Let's take two of these ships. Restart the battle and go. So you can see that the missiles they should always be launching at all times. They should never have any users not in them. And those quickly supply the battery right away. Now they're not walking away from their station. You see, as soon as they have missiles in them, they're launching them. As soon as the missile's there, they're launching. It no longer has anybody walking away from their stations. Now I've also redesigned it too so that it works. I've done a lot more for the back end and the boosters, the curve. There was a little extension here. I moved it from the side. So I've made some critical changes to it. The resupply and everything else, but you can see the roles play a huge role in missile launching, constantly launching, and being resupplied, and constantly doing it. So, and then also taking the exact amount of people, and then maybe just a couple more, so that you have extra guys running in and out. So you have the perfect amount of crew to actually run it through. And you can see right here, they were always stationed, always shooting as soon as the missiles get back in. And you have people literally dedicated to just keep going. The stations are always refueled, and you have it pending out that way. Now Now, remember how I was hitting on multiple ships to one? Well, if I were to take 3 of these ships, which is even less cost than one of my bigger ships, and you fight it against each other, doesn't even stand a chance. Just because how it is. When you can shoot from all the different angles, and I've tested 3 of these ships against many other things. I'm trying to improve these smaller level ships to do what they need to do. They don't require a lot of sulfur. It's just a 2 cannon, simple ship, goes in and destroys like crazy. And even only one of my ships, yeah, it took a decent amount of damage, but basically completely wipe it out. Even if we were to take the other ship that was causing me problems, for example, in my last video, if you come over here and you come over to the build ships, and we come over to the design ships, and we take awful tiers, 3 of these ships which cost way less crew, versus 1 awful tiers. They come over here and they do massive amounts of damage. I don't know if they'll win, but I think they stand a very good chance of winning, because you can see right here they easily can fly around. You can shoot from so many different angles. They defend each other well. They have good armor, good shields, and they just do good damage. Lots and lots of damage. And if you just have lots of these little tiny ships that fly around that are really, really good at doing near everything, you can see they do really good damage. Take it out. And the cost-wise, it's literally 1,500,000, way less crew, and they utilize, and I've built them to a point where you have just the right amount of crew, but just the right amount of everything, and sustain to just keep going. Enough booster power, and you can see I still basically have all 3 of my ships, and very minimum amount of damage, and they could just keep going. Now their max speed, you can see, even 92.4, they fly very fast, they do lots of damage, and they can fly around. So they're kind of just, they're my battleships in that sense of, and I'm still designing, still fixing them up. Now, what I want to showcase here, because I know I was trying to hit on this one in that sense, and rolls, is I want to showcase you that how I've significantly changed these in many different ways. So you see this little addition right here. See how this extends out right here, or if you have it, I have found that when you extend out here and the missiles are shooting out, if the ship's turning or strafing or moving side to side, missiles get caught in this little section right here, and you waste a couple missiles. So what I did here in my new design here is I changed it so it's more curvy in a sense, but it still has good protection, just for enough so that missiles don't get caught, you don't waste any missiles, and still has that ability to actually move around. And then obviously I changed all the roles. I took the idea of sparsing them out like that so that you know how much you have, redistributing materials so that materials actually get pushed out here and here to these 2, so these constantly go out. I changed the default actual role, this one right here, to do the batteries. So if you come over here to the factories, you see high explosive missile factories. I gave them supply battery 10 right here, because yeah, people had that you could put the little generator there, but I found the generator doesn't work as effectively as having people run through it. So with the 10, see how they don't run out of energy? They instantly run and grab from the main, pull out here, and they give them full battery power, so they're constantly always has missiles for them to grab from. And compared to this new design, compared to my old design, which without the rolls aside, because remember I was still modifying them. See how they have guys sitting here, and they don't have missiles launching. So if you don't dedicate your rolls to how they're supposed to be, see how these ones have missiles and they're not launching yet? Missiles not launching. You want one that literally has, as soon as their missiles are in there, they're launching. Guys are literally sitting in the pod and doing nothing else but sitting in there ready to launch. So literally as soon as the missiles are in there, they're launching. There's nobody walking away from their station. And of course you can dedicate people to those stations. For example, if you come over here and you can say missile O, you can say, okay, I want to take this missile O people and then dedicate them, saying over here order squad and say squad to that one. I found that that works, but when you're playing and you start losing crew or your battle starts getting destroyed here and there, it's actually not as effective as letting them be dynamically being able to switch up and move to where you go. And that's why I have the default role, the main role, being able to go in and decide what they want to do in the priorities. So you move them up, move the priorities up, move the priorities down. So it really depends. Do a lot of testing for yourself. See what works best for you. But you can see right here, this ship destroyed the other ship just because it's almost the exact same ship in every way, except I've set up roles where this other ship, literally it's almost the exact same ship, just a few modifications here or there. One has roles, one does not. So how you set up your roles greatly affects how your ship works. Now obviously the front of the ship, I have set up roles for the front of the ship, but the back of the ship has no roles set up at all. And obviously other things are tweaked too, so how resources are put in, how they load missiles compared to this way. So there's a huge dynamic change between the two. So to be aware of that even though you design a ship, if you don't set up your roles properly and set them up to go where they need to be, your ship won't fly or function as it should in full. So those are some quick tips. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this content, feel free to smash the like button, leave me a comment, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, tell me what you want to see next. If you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, that's okay. Come back once a week, come back once a month. Check out what I have, check out the content I have. Tell me what you want to see and what you want to see next. Thank you all for being here. You all have a wonderful rest of your day.